worked a lot to run this Spring Boot project. So here is a Quarkus guy. As you can see here, the introduction speaks itself. Supersonic, subatomic, Java.
Once we move from theory, we go to practical, Spring is going to win. So this argument is all
55, right? I've changed this thing. Let me remove the changed.
Yes.
If I come to the remove change, I just remove this changed like this.
Let's go back.
And I'll just come back here and I'll just reload the page. How good is Quarkus? Without rebuilding the application, the changes are taking effect.
How many seconds did yours run? Take to run?
0.0461 seconds.
For the first time, Quarkus is winning. So in terms of production ready, startup time, Quarkus is winning.
No need to run, and you take something from Spring and it's running without restarting the application. What a framework with a hello.
Hey,
okay. Everything. I don't need to write a REST controller for having a hello world thing. Okay. Quarkus comes with a default hello. So I don't want to waste much of your time. Let's run the project.
No. The reason why you already have this code is because Quarkus was made for low projects, but it's fine.
Okay, let's see. I have to run it.
It's always better.
What is better? It's for you to choose. I'm Bisky here.
Hello guys, welcome back to Quarkus Bisky, where we dive deep into the world of technology, software engineering, mobile development. And today we are continuing our fascinating discussion on comparing two groundbreaking technologies. In our last episode, we explored the theoretical aspects, and now we're moving into the practical applications and the real-world implications. Let's just jump into it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brian, for the introduction. Yeah, so without wasting much of your time, introduce Spring, and as you can see, it's already showing that Spring makes Java productive. Spring makes reactive. Yes, here Spring makes Java simple. So it also makes Java modern. So there's no argument anymore. Create that makes it better. So yeah, I'm going to create a new project using Spring based framework. It's just going to be a demo project. I'm going to just create a hello world API. So let me just call it hello. Sorry, these are dependencies. Sorry. I'm going to take the web. I'm also going to get the Docker. Yeah, that's all we need for now. If anything, as we go, this is enough for us to start. So yeah, here we can just update to whatever we want, but for the purpose of demonstration, we'll just leave it like that. So it's gonna use a Maven Java Maven for dependency management. Then this is the most stable version of Spring Boot for now. Current stable, and Java. We're going to create a Java file, and we're going to use Java 22 for this project. So yeah, we're going to go and open this project that we've created. Okay, so we've opened our project. They recently created the demo project, and so this is our application file. These are our resources. We're going to add more resources here as we go. It's a test folder. Right, for demonstration purposes only, I'm going to create one controller that will show us how good Spring is. Better than Quarkus as usual. We call it hello controller. Okay, as you can see, it's easy and quick. Okay, this is going to come from the web depending that we added. Rest control. And get mapping. Okay, get mapping. World. Okay, so the initial demonstration is to show how fast it is. I'm sure there's not much difference between Spring and Quarkus. Marshall was lying on that previous video. He was saying Quarkus is that fast. So let's see. Oh, the combo. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. So I'm going to comment out this Docker Compose dependency, since we do not need to use it now, but we will uncomment it in future as we get to the point where when we need it. So yeah, I'm going to try to run it again. Yeah, this one should start. Yes, now it is started up, and it started in 0.75 seconds. So yeah, I will hand over to Marshall. I needed to prove that Quarkus is quicker than this.
Thank you, Tapua. We have seen that you worked a lot to run this Spring Boot project. So here is a Quarkus guy. As you can see here, the introduction speaks itself. Supersonic, subatomic, Java, container first.
Okay.
I don't want to talk more. So let's get started with this Quarkus project. I just want to create a hello world project, and we have to see what should I add into the controllers or what should I not add. So for me, let's just click start coding. Let's coding here. I will leave everything as it is here, and here should I add rest? Maybe I can add this rest. I can also add let me just take rest, because if I add Spring dependencies, it will slow the application on startup. So let me just use this simple one, the Quarkus rest.
Okay.
Yeah, and let me go to more options, and I am using Java version 21. It's okay here. Starter, okay. I'm using Maven, okay. So let's just create our application.
Okay.
I'll download the zip file. So let's wait for our application to download the dependencies.
Yeah, it takes time. Eh? Quarkus takes time.
Dependencies are already downloaded. So let's see in our main, what do we have? In our Java file, we have a greeting resource with a hello.
Hey. Okay.
Everything. I don't need to write a REST controller for having a hello world thing. Quarkus comes with a default hello. So I don't want to waste much of your time. Let's run the project.
No. The reason why you already have this code is because Quarkus was made for Node projects, but it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I have to run it.
Yes. Yeah. Grab your coffee and let's wait for this to start. Yes, thank you so much. It started in 1.2 seconds.
Yeah. It's because of downloading the dependencies. That's why it takes time. Let's restart it and see.
Okay, let's see. This is more than 1 second. Okay. This is gonna be at least this is one. So you never beat Spring in the startup time.
No, don't worry.
Okay, start again, please. Do again.
Let's start again there and come back again here. Because there is now a memory usage. Because when we start this application, there was no load to the server, so that's why it started fast.
Okay.
So right now, the Quarkus is now running.
So 1 minute.
Let's try to restart the Spring project.
It's fine. So just keep the numbers in mind, guys. Marshall is at 1.0 something seconds. Okay, let's restart this. 0.665. So I think once we move from theory, we go to practical, Spring is going to win. So this argument is over.
The argument is not over because this is a running dev. This thing works when we are doing the graph VM, and this one is just for testing. But when you are doing the graph VM thing,
Okay.
not JVM, this is going to be fast. So
Okay.
what do I mean about this graph VM?
Mhm.
Let me show you about this graph VM.
Yeah, you need to defend your framework. It's fine. Just try to defend it. Yeah, but I think it's clear to everyone right now that for a hello world application, Spring is better than Quarkus. But
Okay.
let's give him a chance.
So for GraphVM, what do you mean about this? Why is it fast? You can see why is it slow right now? There's a lot that is happening here. You can see every time the application is loading these things there. But though when you are in deployment, these things are not necessary. So what when you are deploying this now in the cloud, we have to use this Docker file, which is a native Docker file, and this native Docker file, that's where we are using the GraphVM. So the process that you are seeing here happening here, it won't be there when you are now on cloud. So that's why it takes time when it first initiate all these processes. But by initiating these processes, you can see it was on one. But when you are on production, we removed the other processes. It's going to be 0.0404.
Okay, it's fine. I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we were on theory, and Masha was saying Quarkus is faster than Spring Boot. This week, we're on practical, and we just created a hello world application, and Spring is faster. Now he wants us to move to the cloud. I think we'll bring that argument again in the coming weeks, so that at least we'll give him a chance to try and beat Spring.
Let's say this guy is always talking. I think you know him. So what we are going to do here, we are going to create a Docker image for both of us. Then we can run this application. For me, on that time, I won't have these things. Then we'll see which one is going to run fast.
Okay,
As a Docker.
Okay, you can start.
So now let's dive into the production ready code. I think in Spring, I think they won because it was a testing mode. We want to see in the production code how the application performs on production, and we'll see the same thing how the application performs on Spring Boot. So the reason I love Quarkus is that to run this code for deployment, it's easier. You don't have to waste time on deployment because it has Docker files created for you by default. So let's go into the main. You can see this folder called Docker, and it has the Docker files. Depends on the which one do you want to use. For JVM, you can use this Docker file.jvm, and for GraphVM, you can use this native. And remember, this native is much faster as compared to JVM. So I don't have to talk more about that, but I want to test with the JVM so that the Spring project also developed by Tapiwa will be running using JVM. I don't want him to blame that I cheated him to use GraphVM. So let's test with the JVM. So the command is simple here. So I just come here and copy this command, and the Docker file is already written with the pip return file. So what I need, I skip this one. I just say map and package, and I'll run this one just for packaging. And to create a jar file.
Okay.
After that, let's run this second command to build a Docker image.
Yes.
So here the port is going to be 8089. I changed it because the Spring Boot is also running on same port 88, so I don't want it to conflict. So let me just copy this and run our image and see the startup time. The application is started in 0.46 seconds. And remember, this is a production ready code. We are not testing anything here. So let me try to open the application here on porting on this port and see what's really going to happen here. And localhost and with this port. Yeah, you can see this is the port that we are using. I think if I say hello, we can get something like hello from Quarkus REST. So let's see the same process, the startup time from the Spring project. So Tapiwa, we will start to.
Before you go, how many seconds did yours run? Take to run?
0.0461 seconds.
461. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how Spring will be. Okay. Thank you, Marshall. Let me now do the same process you did. So I'm going to package this Spring project. Okay, packaging worked well. So I think I also have the commands. Of course, unfortunately, Spring doesn't bring with it the commands to build the image and whatever. But as Spring developers, we are experienced with this. Okay, so we are going to build, after packaging, we're going to build the Docker image using this command. Here we go. I think you've seen that it's faster than what Quarkus was doing. Then now, we want to run the image. So I'm going to use a totally different port so that there's no conflict. So I'm going to copy this command and run. Let's see now. Unfortunately, it took 1.134 seconds. I do agree that in terms of running on production, Quarkus, is faster than Spring Boot, and it's faster than Spring. And yes, for the first time, Quarkus is winning. So in terms of production ready, startup time, Quarkus is winning. But when you're running on your local environment, Spring is faster. For developers who want to test their changes on local, it's going to be very fast. But with Quarkus, it's like you're deploying on cloud. It takes time. It's slower. So that's the conclusion.
Okay, what I want you to do next with your Spring Boot project, can you open your endpoint 9070?
Okay.
I want to see your hello Spring.
Okay. Okay, so since the project is already running, it's okay, let me open. Okay, so it's 9070.
Okay. Can you change that hello to hello Spring?
You want me to go back to, okay. Sorry, let me just go to the controller class that I created.
To the hello Spring.
Okay. Okay. Spring Boot is fine. You want me to?
Let's see. How do you run this?
Okay, I have to build again, then.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. I know what you're trying to prove here, but.
Okay, it's fine. It's now on 1.076.
Okay.
So can you change the port to 8080 since you are now running live development?
8080.
Enter. Okay, hello Spring Boot.
Yes.
Now change it to hello Spring only.
Okay, it's fine. Let's go back to IntelliJ. Hello Spring only.
Yeah, like this, like that. Yeah.
Let me just restart it. Yeah.
So you have to restart it for these changes to appear.
Oh, that's what they wanted to prove to me.
Okay. Can you go and reload your API?
Okay. Okay. Let's see how Quarkus. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see the same thing in Quarkus because you don't want to waste time here. I want to come to my Quarkus project. So in Quarkus here, this was my API. Hello from Quarkus REST.
Change something.
Changed. Okay, let's see what happened. I don't know about what about the GraalVM is going to do, because this change will take effect if I'm running in GraalVM. So let me just stop this. So let me change the port here. Port. I want to make it to another different port. 80, or let me go to 50. 55. I'll run the application. I want to avoid this conflict of ports here, and I'll come back here and put this port 55, right? I've changed this thing. Let me remove the changed.
Yes.
If I come to the remove change, I just remove this changed like this.
Let's go back.
And I'll just come back here and I'll just reload the page. How good is Quarkus? Without rebuilding the application, the changes are taking effect. So I think for this, for live development, you see Quarkus is better as compared to Spring. So let's go to another step.
Okay. Okay, I admit again that Quarkus is live reload, which is a good thing. Yeah, I think for that reason only, and maybe being production ready, those two reasons, yeah, Quarkus is better compared to Spring. Okay, we can proceed.
So what we can do now, let's just add a, let's try to add configure database. I just want to show you how to add a Spring extension so that you see Quarkus supports also Spring dependencies. If you are a Spring developer with your Spring knowledge, you can also migrate to Quarkus using the Spring dependencies. And here we can call them Spring extensions. So what we can do, you visit this data source, Quarkus guidelines for data source. And here, this one is for, you see the types of data source that we can use. We have Quarkus JDBC H2, but here for Spring extension, I just want to use the Spring JPA that you are used if you are a Spring developer. And to add this dependence, it's easy. You just copy this command, this one, Marvin Quarkus add extension, and the Spring Data JPA, and you can come to your project in the terminal, and you just do this, and you can do this.
Okay.
After just pressing this enter, let's wait for the dependence to be added.
Okay, that's good also. Yeah, now it has gone back to its behavior, being slow.
Yeah, it's downloading the dependencies, so don't worry. Once everything is okay, you see in your POM XML, you don't need to refresh the POM Excel to see that the dependence has been added. So here, the dependence has been added. Let's just say JPA. You can see it has been added. So let me run the application. You can see there's no issue about the error of database connection. It's because it's used the default H2 connection. So by default, it has configured our H2. So let's see the same thing, how Spring is going to work. Is it going to use H2 by default, or we have to configure it? So let's see in the Spring project. So Tapua, you can take over.
We have to add dependencies. After adding dependencies, I will then have to configure the H2 on my own. So let me just first of all add the dependencies. Okay, so come here. I'll add the H2, this one. Then I'll also add probably the JP. Okay, Spring Data JP. Okay, so just wait a bit until it finishes installing this two. I think it's done. Started.
Can you restart now the application? We want to see what's going to happen.
Okay, so I think at this point we proved that Marshall and Quarkus, they are following behind because we've also connected to H2 database by default by just adding the dependency the same way it did its configurations. So yeah, at this point we also note that there are some issues, there are some functionalities that are both in Spring and in Quarkus, and yeah, but we still have some points where Quarkus is better than Spring, and we will discuss more as we go on the coming weeks. We'll discuss more points on where Spring is better and where Quarkus is better.
So thanks Tapiwa. Here I wanted to prove that in your Quarkus you can use Spring dependencies. Like the way you are using this JPA, the Spring Data JPA, we can use also in Quarkus. We have the same dependency. Here, if I go to the POM XML, we have also, it's called Spring Data JPA, but in Spring, it's called Spring Boot Starter Data JPA.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can also use Spring Web, and I can show you here for other Spring dependencies that you can use. So you can see these are some of the dependencies that Quarkus supports for Spring. If you are used with the @bin, you are used to service, you can also use this one in Quarkus. And for Spring Web, we can use Spring Web, the REST controller, the way that he did it. If you want me, I can just show you an example of using this. You can just go here. It's easy to do this in Quarkus. You just copy the dependence, and you can come here like what we did on our previous dependence. We can now add our. Sorry, I don't have the client configured, so let me use the one for. Okay, let me use this Maven one. And I will come here and I will run this, and this dependence will be added for, and it's for Spring Web. So here it's called Quarkus Spring Web. So what I can do, I can just copy the controller that he created, and I will come here and I'll just paste it.
It should work as
it should work as same as in Hello Spring in Spring. So you can see the annotations are already there. At REST controller. For here, let's just say I want to change here, say Hello Spring.
Okay.
And I will get this one if I come here.
So you don't need to rerun the process again.
No need to rerun.
Yeah.
You can see it's Hello Spring. Yeah. So by adding that dependence, you can see you can use it easily. There are so many extensions that you can use. Those from Spring, I can't go them one after the other, but know this the works fine also in Quarkus. No need to run, and you take something from Spring and it's running without restarting the application. What a framework.
Okay, so yeah, I think we've learned one or two things about Spring and Quarkus, but the most important lesson is that Quarkus is learning from Spring. Thank you.
I don't want to argue. It's up to you who are watching to choose the framework which is easier to use, which is good for production ready, which is fast startup on production. First, no need to reload the application, to rerun the application. Just go to your API and test it. Last time we were talking about theory. Now we're in practical. I didn't talk too much, but I showed you the code.
Okay, but yeah, we'll continue this discussion at a later stage. But I think you've seen that in terms of developers, as developers, when you're running this Quarkus or you're running Spring on local environment, Spring is better. It's always better.
What is better? It's for you to choose. I'm Bisky here. This is Tapio.
Signing out is Tapio. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brian.
That's all for today's episode of Quarkus Bisky. We hope you found our deep dive into the practical applications of these two technologies both informative and engaging. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to reach out to us on our social media platforms or by email or just comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on the platform to stay updated with the latest episodes. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon. God will be with you. Bye. Cheers.